All right, guys, welcome back to The Real with Rachel D. That was Prince Trust from the Batman movie. And we are here, of course, my super fabulous co-host, Miss BJ. And the media director from DragonCon and the assistant media director of DragonCon, Mr. Dan Carroll and Lil Watson.
Hello.
All right, guys, so this is the part of the show where we learn about you guys as the guests. And like we said, we're super excited about DragonCon. So we just want to go ahead and jump in and ask you, can you tell us about what is DragonCon?
Fantastic. Well, DragonCon is the largest fan-run convention in the world covering gaming, television, music, film. We have an art show inside DragonCon with prizes and awards, a juried art show. We have a film festival that rivals many of the film festivals around the country inside DragonCon. And we have, bringing to Atlanta, the largest parade in Atlanta, the DragonCon Parade. Every Labor Day weekend, DragonCon gets together. We take up 5 host hotels in downtown Atlanta. We expect 75,000 folks this year, and we're pretty excited. And that's just a tip of the iceberg trying to describe what DragonCon is.
It is amazing.
Wow.
Speaking of the parade, you said something new has happened with that this year.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into the big one first. Lil, do you want to grab this one?
Yeah, well, this is really exciting. For the first time ever, the DragonCon Parade will actually be broadcast live on the CW Atlanta, Channel 69 for those of us without cable. And you'll be able to watch it in the morning, and then they're rebroadcasting it in primetime.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's
That's
excellent.
fantastic. And the team is going to be made up of folks from the CW, plus our own DragonCon TV commentator. Brian Richardson will be part of it. And for those people who are listening, are going, but I've gone to DragonCon for years. I like watching the DC TV parade coverage. Well, that's still going to happen inside the host hotels because you might not know this. We have our own TV network inside the host hotels and inside the panel rooms.
Oh, no, I did not know that. That is awesome. All right, guys. So this year is the 30th anniversary, correct?
It is
so
indeed.
I know that there are some big things going on this year.
There are. One of the things that we're really excited about is also the 30th anniversary of Labyrinth, a movie so many people love. And we're going to have Brian Henson, Jim Henson's son, coming to DragonCon to talk about it and also to host a fashion costume contest based on the works of Jim Henson.
BJ's spazzing out over here.
I'm an 80s baby. The Labyrinth. I mean, wow.
Well, also going back to the 80s, one of the things that we really love is Sam J. Jones and Melody Anderson are coming. Now, you may not know those names, but you might know them as Flash Gordon and his girlfriend Dale Arden in that great movie with the music by Queen.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So we're pretty excited they're coming. This is the first time, I believe, for both of them. And we have guests. We call them guests or celebrities or experts in their field. They can range from TV actors, such as we've got. You remember the show Boy Meets World?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We have Eric Friedel.
Okay.
He played. No, his name is not. It's Will Friedel. He played Eric Matthews.
Yeah. Okay. No.
On the show, the older brother, and he's coming. But he also played Batman Beyond in the cartoon show Batman Beyond. So,
I didn't know that.
But he was also on a show called Kim Possible. Do you remember? Kim?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Naked Mole Rat.
So and that was him. He owned Luther on the show. He was Unstoppable, but he's joined by his Kim Possible co-host Christy Carlson Romano. So we are loading it up with guest after guest for you, for the nostalgia in you, and also for current stars, because we just announced we have 3 of the stars from iZombie, which is such a great show. I love it. The funny thing is iZombie, I got turned on to it by my coworker, who is not a nerd or geek at all. She just said, "Hey, I saw a show. It had zombies. You might like it," and I did. And we're going to have David Anders from that show. We're going to have Rose MacGyver from that show. And we're also going to have Ali Michalka from that show. She plays the best friend. Rose MacGyver plays the zombie herself. So modern shows. And we have so many more guests. But please go to www.dragoncon.org, www.dragoncon.org, and get more information about the guests, because we could just talk here for an hour about the guests.
Yes.
And BJ has never been to DragonCon,
No.
but when I went there, the costumes are insane. So what is like the most elaborate, craziest thing you've seen so far?
Well, I think, well, I'm going to ask you this question that they just asked me too, but I think my favorite was early on when I first started going, I saw somebody wearing a Galactus costume, and he looked 12 and a half, 13 feet tall. And it was giant and purple and shiny, and he really looked like he was here to devour Earth.
Wow.
So that's one of my favorites. But, Will, how about you?
There's so many amazing costumes. It's really hard to think about one specific one, but I think my favorite would be one from last year that I saw. Are you familiar with the Mad Max movies?
Mm-hmm.
So in the most recent Mad Max film, Max gets attached to the front of his car, and there was a young boy that came to DragonCon with a disability, and he was in a wheelchair. And so what they did was they actually kind of mounted him to the front of his wheelchair, and so he looked like Mad Max from the film. And it was incredible.
That is
That's
so
fantastic.
cute.
I
Oh,
think they
man.
call him like the bleeder because they
Yeah.
were taking. Yeah, that is awesome. Wow.
People are really creative with their costumes at DragonCon. It's insane.
They are really into it. When I was there, it was about 2 years ago, I saw Iron Man and the War Machine, and their costumes could move and light up and like break down. It was crazy. And I threw something on. I was like, I'm gonna wear all black and wear this mask and go as like some type of villain, which I'm probably gonna do again this year. But no, it is completely insane.
I'm sorry, I'm fangirling over
That's
here.
okay. That's
need some
okay.
air?
That's what
Need
it's
some air?
about.
That is
So
excellent.
now, I got a question for you. What was the best thing that you saw apart from the Iron Man? What did you experience that you really loved about DragonCon?
It was crazy. I just loved seeing people just walk up and down the streets kind of casual, like in New York where you're just kind of going about your business, but everybody's outfits are just crazy. And then you have the people who stood out the most were the ones who weren't in costume, who kind of looked like, what am I doing here? But everybody else was just walking through the day like that's life. And I just thought it was so cool.
And I don't get to wear a costume at DragonCon because I'm doing work. I go to other conventions and wear costumes. It's perfectly okay. I'm taken care of. But it's so great. I love the workmanship. And the thing that I've noticed is such a big change is that so many of the costumes, bear with me, so many of the costumes now have little Raspberry Pis, little computers built into them with the lights and the mechanisms, and that's fantastic.
That's really cool.
Let me ask you, what would you say? Because at my old job, when I used to talk about doing stuff like this, you'd have the kind of cynical people who feel like they're too grown for things like that. Like, what would you say to people like that who feel like you should grow up? Like, why are you wearing costumes?
That's a fantastic question. I think that in my experience, one of the things that people may not realize is that they think that they're above geek culture or apart from geek culture, but the chances are the last movie that most people listening to us saw was a superhero movie. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter which superhero movie it was. Mm-hmm. It was a superhero movie. Mm-hmm. And, right now the big talk on the internet is about this TV show on Netflix that was filmed here in Atlanta. Some of my friends were in it, called Stranger Things. This is a geek thing. It's a horror movie. How many people say they're not comfortable with geek things, and yet they say their favorite writer is Stephen King? So it's real easy to be blasé or cynical, but this is our culture now. This is not a different thing. This is for all of us.
Exactly. I agree.
I'm excited. So what are you going to wear, BJ?
Okay, so I don't know. I'm either going to be a Ghostbuster or I don't know. I like I said, I'm into anime, and I may do I'm really into this show now called Death Note, and
Fantastic.
So I may be the little. I may be that guy. I can't think of his name, but I may be him. So look it up so you guys know what I'm talking about.
The Shinigami?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and he's huge. So, but I just love the fact of doing wings. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I got some cardboard and some duct tape. I'm going to come up with something. So,
I think this year I'm going to push the boundaries because normally I used to work for a public broadcasting station and I worked for the county. So it's always, be careful what you wear because you're representing. And right now I'm not working with either of those because I've always wanted to do like Jade from Mortal Kombat because I have
Fantastic.
long legs and, I love kind of to look sexy and it's a very sexy costume. So I think I'm going to push that today.
you don't want to be Katana or the other, what is it, Katana and the two sisters? One has the fans.
Yeah, I'll do the one with the fans though.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll be working, so you won't be able to.
No, but I have
She
lots
is
of
allowed to
friends.
costume.
But I do, yes, but I don't have any currently this year. But I have lots of friends that costume, and so it's always fun to find out what they're doing and then sort of follow them along with what they're doing, like Stormtroopers and Ghostbusters, lots of Ghostbuster friends. And so even if I don't cosplay myself, it's really fun to see what other people are doing and go and like take my pictures with them and things like that.
Exactly.
And one of the trends I've noticed a lot of my friends are getting involved in foam blowing is what they call it, where they create foam objects. They look like swords, they look like lances, but they weigh half a pound. And they're working on that, and they're creating their own characters in a lot of ways. So I'm really happy to see that type of creativity. Or I have one friend who's just phenomenal. She's competing for the first time as a professional level maker in our makers competition, where you get judged on how well you make your foam swords.
Wow.
And she's I'm pretty sure she's playing her World of Warcraft character. So,
Really?
and that's the type of creativity we like to see.
See?
But for everybody listening, you don't have to be super creative to participate.
Oh, you don't have to be in costume. Only about we only estimate only about 40% of the people are in costume on a regular basis. So it's perfectly fine. As I said, I don't costume. A lot of my team members don't costume, and surely you don't need to costume to come down to the parade on September 3rd at 10 a.m. Where you can, if you don't want to watch at home, you can come down and watch that parade and watch the 3,200 people in costume.
What about being a part of the parade? Do you have to sign up for that?
You do, and it used to be you could sign up at DragonCon. Now sign-up's closed March 1st.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So
Super soon.
I had a lot of fun. I was in the parade several years. I used to be a part of the young adult literature track, so it was like Harry Potter, and I would dress up like Ginny Weasley and things like that and be in the parade. And it's really fun to see how much bigger it's gotten now, but it was a lot of fun to be in the parade and walking the streets of Atlanta with everyone watching.
have any of you seen the parade yet?
Did I?
You have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, videos on social media, but
Got
I didn't
it.
see
No,
live.
in person. So one of the things that I'm going to offer to you is that we have an area for reporters and photographers to get a good look at the parade, and we do walk reporters up and down one block and then back one block, so that everybody gets a chance to get some of the better pictures, so that the folks at home who don't get to be in the parade get to see the pictures.
Do we have a defibrillator in the house? Because I am.
You want to be
Are
carrying
you
a tank
like
of
on
oxygen
site?
tank? I would love
Yes,
that.
we do have defibrillators on site, and we do have we do have paramedics.
Are you catching her face? Get her face.
I'm just like. Oh
Yes,
my,
we're
that is
in.
amazing.
Ran. That's so. Thank you so much. That's exciting. The whole thing is just exciting. We're very much creative people, and I love pretending. Like I swear, if Avengers was like a real thing, I would have been worked for them and just
Yeah.
I love it. And I told you about my Power Rangers glass, and I'm super excited. I drink out of it every night. So that's definitely something that's up our alley. We really do appreciate it, and we will definitely take advantage of that. But can you tell everybody where they can find out more information about DragonCon?
DragonCon is the best source of information is www.dragoncon.org, but it's not the only place for information. We recommend that everybody download the app for both Apple and for Android. And it's going to be updated completely in a couple of weeks, but it's available as of today to download. And just go to the store and DragonCon.
All right, absolutely. So, guys, make sure that you keep it here. We have more show coming up for you on The Real with Rachel D. Just a quick reminder to go on social media and show us some support on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Coming up, we have Seal, Kissed by a Rose.